All right, welcome to Arithmetic Series Part 2, and as you can see, I've already listed the formulas. There's the formula for finding an individual term, and then we have the two formulas for figuring out the sums or the series of several terms, and I have one example already written up. We're to determine the sum of the first 20 terms of this particular series, 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus and so on. So I think what I can do is just determine what is it I already know. Well, I know A, our first term is 2. I can see what the common difference is, because to go from one term to the next, it looks like I just keep adding 2. And then the number of terms that I want to add up is pretty obviously 20. So I think I have everything to go ahead and go right into, actually I don't have the last term. So I'm going to use this version over here where I don't need to figure out the last term. So let's figure out what S sub 20 is. Okay, so N is 20, so 20 over 2. Then we have 2 times A, so 2 times 2. And then plus 20 minus 1. Okay, times our common difference of 2. So once you set it up, it's just careful arithmetic. You just got to crunch the numbers. 20 divided by 2 is 10, so that's a little nice. Then we've got 2 times 2 is 4, plus 19 in the brackets times 2, so that's 38. And remember your bed math. You got to do the brackets next. So leave the 10 and add together the 4 and the 38, so that's 42. And so it looks like the sum of those 20 terms is 420. So that's really all there is to it. Now I'm going to do a second example, however, because sometimes they give you different bits of information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my formulas up and just clear out the stuff I don't need. So let's clear that out. And let's have a look at the second example. So wording is going to be a little bit different here. They're going to say determine negative 9 plus negative 4 plus 1 and then plus dot 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 all the way up to 41. So you go, okay, well let's get to work. Clearly we have a series here. And we can see it's arithmetic because it seems like we're adding 5 each time to get the next term. So I'm going to make a little note of that. Common difference is 5. My first term is negative 9. And my last term is 41. But the big thing I don't know here is I don't know how many terms I have. See, when I look at all these formulas, there's an n in both formulas. So the first thing I got to do is I actually have to use the first formula, the t sub n formula, and try to determine how many terms I have. So I'm going to take my last term here, which has a value of 41, and I'm going to plug it in to this formula here. Now remember, we know some of the stuff. So what we're going to do is plug in what we know, like the value of the term is 41. We know A, the first term, is negative 9. And we just don't know what n is. So n minus 1, and the common difference is 5. So I'm going to go ahead and solve this for n. I'm going to add 9 over to the other side. Okay, then I'm going to take what's left here. And I think I'm going to get rid of the 5 here. I could just divide it into the 50. So I think that's going to be the least amount of work. And that leaves me with n minus 1, and I'm just going to add the 1 over. So it turns out that 41 here is term 11. Well, that's awesome. Now I know what n is. So I can go straight to my formula. And I would choose to use the simpler formula here because I know the last term. So let's just make a little room here. And we're going to go ahead and say, yeah, we'd like to add together those 11 terms, please. So n is 11. So that's 11 over 2. And then I'm going to put in A, which is negative 9, plus my last term, which is 41. All right, so now, let's see here. I got 11 over 2. And then in the brackets here, negative 9 plus 41. So that would be 32. And now all I got to do is go 11 times 32, divide by 2, or it might be even simpler to just go 11 times 16. Just divide the 2 into the 32. I did that ahead of time, and it is 176. So that's our sum right there, folks. And that's where I'm going to stop with this lesson.